I think you can get them for $250. And then you have the okay, watch here with the truck. So the truck sees the drone coming, sees the warhead, slams on its brakes, and the warhead hits directly. So this is now drone number 2 entering the base. Drone number 2 is going to look and do a battle damage assessment of drone number 1. And there you see the truck there in poor shape, to say the least, after getting hit by an RPG anti-tank warhead. But that's the second drone. This drone's now going to come up to his target. So he does a battle damage assessment, and here he's going to smash into what looks like an electrical station on the back of a HEMTT. This is obviously an important it's basically a miniature power plant on the back of this truck. And of all the choices that they hit that. That is key to the air defense system that's on that base running. And there you can see the battle damage assessment from the third drone showing that vehicle completely destroyed. So Hezbollah this week's shown us a bunch of battle damage assessments. So after filming that, this third drone is now going to come up to his target. So each drone is carrying out an attack and also carrying out a battle damage assessment. So answering a lot of questions about what happens. Here he goes right into the throat of this Merkava tank here. We haven't seen too many of that with the barrel, with the gun barrel pointed up. That's certainly not the strongest part of the tank for sure. You can see it's separated out there, and he hits that dead on. And there you see from the fourth drone, the third drone hitting the tank. And so you can see the smoke coming up there from the tank. We're going to see it again from a different angle. But this drone is going to do the battle damage assessment for the previous drone before this drone goes up and carries out its attack. So you can see the smoke there on the right rising up from the tank that was struck. And you can see a little bit to the left, that's the HEMTTs in flames still there, you see, as it passes over. Now it's going to target the other HEMTT and take out the base's power station, the electrical station for this base. So again, targeting has adaptations on the battlefield for targeting that we're seeing from Hezbollah is really remarkable. And that drone swarm attack on the Abad site was a significant one this week. Let's take a look at the next video because they continued the operation on this same base. They're going to hit one of the troop transport trucks. You can see it there driving up the mountain to the base. All of these bases inside of Lebanon that have been set up are on the high ground. So Israel knew to take what ground to take because it's the security zone from the 1980s and 1990s. And they knew where the important hills were to take for overwatch. But here this drone has spotted this troop transporter. So the troops drive into a lower base inside Israel and then are shuttled. Sometimes they're shuttled on helicopters, but we've seen almost none of those this time around. So they're shuttled on these. You can see a bus there and an anti-tank warhead driven into the middle of essentially a soft-shelled bus is going to make a big mess. But no reports of that from the Israelis, like it didn't happen. Let's go to number 11. We can see the continuation here. Same base being hit. This is a truck that is transporting the tanks. So they don't put the tanks on the road. So to get the tanks up to the base, they put them on these flatbed trucks. So again, critical logistics vehicle here, although they're going to target the driver here. Critical logistics vehicles that we're seeing being targeted, logistics forces being targeted. And when an RPG round hits these vehicles, it's a 100% confirmed destruction of the vehicle. Whereas when it hits the tanks, it's hit and miss depending on where you hit on the tanks. We can go to the next one because we're going to see this is just 10 minutes after the previous operation. So again, we're starting to see low-level swarms to hit these same bases one after another, and I suspect we're going to see more of that in the future. You see the tank that's parked right beside the troop transport track. He's going to fire on the tank there. They're still hitting tanks. They hit 48 tanks in the last 30 days, which is lower percentage than previously. They give us a nice rewind here in the original Hezbollah video. 48 tanks hit in the past 30 days. So it's not like they have stopped doing that. We can go to the next one. Are we at 13? Yeah. This is also in Hula. This is right near that base where Israel's destroying homes. We're going to see them set up on a D9 armored bulldozer here, move in under control, and destroy the D9 armored bulldozer. We know this from Gaza, that these RPG rounds that are on these drones, this is what Qassam would use to destroy these vehicles, these D9 armored bulldozers that are given to the Israelis by the Americans. We saw 30 of these in the past 30 days. So a D9 a day being taken off the battlefield. We can go to the next one now. Here we have an anti-tank guided missile strike against a troop presence. If you look dead in the center of the screen, you can see the little Israeli soldiers scurrying to their base, one after another. You can count them up. Tried to do a count. I think I got somewhere between 12 and 15 of them moving into this position. You can see there's 5 or 6 more there. We just saw 4 or 5 before. You're going to see another few of them here. So a significant number of troops are going to be in this house before it is hit. And here you're going to see it targeted by a Cornet anti-tank guided missile strike directly through the window of that house that all those soldiers went into. But again, doesn't match the casualty reports that we're getting out, even though we literally just watched all the soldiers walk into that building. It's difficult to tell if that was a thermobaric, but and then you can see now more soldiers running from a second base to try to recover the wounded that did not get reported. But you're going to see ambulances come and join this operation. You see more soldiers coming down the hill trying to evacuate the wounded and the scared, the soldiers that have anxiety from being involved in that attack. You can see them hightailing it because they think that the air hammer alarm is going to go off at any point and a drone's going to come down on them. So they are running everywhere they go. There's a smoke screen there to cover the extraction of the troops. So they're trying to cover up. There's the ambulance coming down the hill to extract casualties that didn't get reported. And there you see the ambulance leave.